30th year, back in 1988, Danny and Margaret O'Quinn founded Still Creek Ranch as a safe place for boys and girls from crisis situations. And so for that time frame, we've given a home, of course, but also it developed into giving children a home, a school, and teaching a work ethic through life on the ranch. But all of that isn't nearly as important as the number one thing that we give students here, which is the gospel. We have Christian couples, mother and father figures that live in the home and teach children what home life should have looked like, or what home life without abuse or neglect or abandonment looks like.
When it comes to the Master's Craft, we're very passionate about teaching people that you don't have to sacrifice skills and a career and vocation to go make the world a better place in your mission. They can both come together.
Installed a floor one time before, and it was actually a click lock floor, and so this was a lot different with gluing the groove and working with the tongue and groove, and but with some great help and great expertise, I was able to install the floor successfully, and we had a great time doing it.
We brought the boys over yesterday to help unload a little bit of the flooring, and then they followed me over to my house to get some fishing rods, and the next thing you know, I was loading rocks, big rocks from the flower bed on my trailer. Next thing you know, they're pitching in and throwing rocks on my trailer, making my life easier. And so it's just neat living right here and getting to be, right in the middle of all of it.
Today we got to put in Realwood floors, brick and board, I think color Hearth. It's a 1/2-inch thick engineered pre-finished floor that Realwood Floors makes. They were incredibly gracious to give us the floor.
We really are able to work with children from home to school to work on the ranch and back home again, and really put a firm structure underneath them, and again teach them what a family is supposed to look like.
Our core principles in the company is to elevate people, so that coincides really well with our main mission, and we get to come out to a place like this, to a place like Still Creek Ranch, and they have a need for something that we can provide, flooring, and we get to grab customers and employees, and we get to help show them that they don't have to just give money to different ministries and charities, although that's great and is definitely a need, but they can also use their time, their effort, their talent, even if it's just being a craftsman, just laying floors.
We're not a foster home, we're not associated with the foster system, and we're not actually affiliated with the state. We don't receive state funds, so everything is privately funded, and which is huge if you think about it, because for now over 30 years, we've existed without taking government funds like that. So there's no per capita government funding. We do receive some corporate grants and some things like that sometimes, but really it's God moving in the hearts and minds of people that love the Lord and love children, that He moves in their hearts to work with us, be volunteers with us, pray for us, or even become financial supporters of ours.
The business's mission is great because I've actually, before I took the job, I was trying to think of how can I get more involved with charity work and mission work, because my wife has done so much in that aspect, and I was like, man, I really wish there was a company I could get behind and do a lot of that work with, and lo and behold, it was the Master's Craft that I was able to do that.
My family and I, we just decided that this is the place for us. And so as long as the Lord allows us to be here, we're gonna be. And getting to live 100 yards from the school, I mean, that's huge, because we get to see the kids every day and have an impact on their lives.
In a project like this, we get to set aside a couple days or a weekend and actually come outside of our business and serve people in our communities and in the world at large. Here we get to help elevate the people at Still Creek Ranch by putting a floor under their feet. Elevate them a 1/2 inch up, and hopefully a lot more than that.
Our kids that come from the situations they do of crisis and trauma many times need to learn to press through hard situations. Maybe they've learned to do it on a social level. They've learned how to survive, so to speak, but maybe sometimes it's hard for them to press through hard issues in academics or in work. And so we try to build a strong work ethic in the students so that they can be overcomers in all things, not just be streetwise and survive in those ways. It's really a neat place, very different.